Hello everyone, MFPallytime, welcome back to the A through Z playthrough. In today's video, we have landed on Tyrael. Almost done, man. We're almost there. The end's in sight. We're almost there. How many months have I been doing this? God, it feels like half a year. Tyrael is a melee warrior, pretty tanky if he wants to be. Sanctification has been one of the driving forces in competitive play. Incredibly strong talent there. We haven't seen much changes on Tyrael other than Sanctification getting a longer cooldown, so it's more in line with other abilities that he would be blocking. So there's a little bit more counterplay. You have to think about when you use Sank rather than just using it all the time. That being said, while Sanctification may be a driving force in competitive, what we see in non-competitive, like Hero League and Quick Match, is that Judgment is picked way more often, and generally speaking, it's significantly easier to use. I am going to be playing, I hope, a damage kind of version of Tyrael here. I want to jump in. I want to do some damage. I want to get my hands dirty. But we could also change that up based on what our comp is today.
Reckoning is at hand.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on the battlefield of eternity. Today, the friendly team Tyrael, Chromie, Genji, Zu'Jin, and Li Ming. The enemy team Muradin, Jaina, Zagara, Sylvanas, Greymane. There's definitely a case to be made for using Sanctification versus the Greymane and potential Ring of Frost from Jaina. But we could also just go kill him. We could also just kill him. So we may have to see how that goes. Looks like I'm going to be our off lane. Look, have fun. So we're going to pick up Purge Evil, increases smite damage to heroes by 30%. We're not particularly good at dealing immortal damage or anything like that. I can solo top if you want. If not, then you can stand up here. I don't really care. You do whatever you need to do. As long as we stop Sylvanas from pushing, then we're doing our job. And it looks like our team was able to do that. I'm Muradin. How's it going? This is going to be a boring lane. Oh, looks like there's two people. All right, this is going to be an even more boring lane because I'm just going to sit back here and let them push in. Now, hopefully the friendly team is going to be able to use those numbers advantage that they have to do some good. If you've never seen Tyrael before, his Q ability is Eldruin's Might. No, I'm fine. Keep pushing. Promise. I promise I'm okay. You guys can win the bottom lane because there's two up here. Numbers and shit. Yay! Never mind. Jaina went down. Eldruin's Might throws out a sword. It looks just like this. If we want to at any time during the duration of this bar, we can teleport back to that sword. It's a great way to gather regen globes. Our W ability is Righteousness. This is a AoE shield to not only us and our allies, but minions. One of the few healing and shielding abilities that's AoE that actually affects minions at the same time. Which is interesting. Yeah, we don't win that. Yeah, we don't win that one bit. Go ahead and grab the sippy cup and we will be just fine. We did lose our Taz Dingo down in the bottom lane, which kind of sucks. If he stays too much longer, we might be able to kill him, but he was out of tower range there. We just lost everyone down to the bottom lane. That's not good. As the objective is coming up, that's definitely when you need everyone on your team to be there, but both teams do hit level 4 right now. We are going to pick up the... I don't know. We might just... Do we go for Vigor Strike? Swift Retribution increases Smite's movement speed bonus by 10% and duration by 1 second. Smite is our E ability. It's kind of a weird ability. It does damage, it does utility, it does a little bit of everything. You throw it down on the ground, and your team can run through the Smite much faster. So it's great for catching up to enemy players. Really, we should only have our Dingo on offense, I feel like. Zu'Jin. Go hit it. Oh, never mind, he's dying. I was typing. My bad, team. My bad, team! So in situations like this, you might be able to catch up to people and deal some damage. Later in the build, it might increase our auto attack damage. It depends how frisky we're feeling versus this team. I got the regen globe, so we should be okay here. Li Ming trying to deal as much damage to the enemy team's immortal as she can, but of course, He's only Li Ming. She doesn't have very good sustained damage. It's mostly burst damage. So it looks like we may need to be on the defensive here yet again. We are double stunned. No, never mind. Just single. Just single stunned. Anyway, health's not looking too good. Let's try to keep this Murden off of our Chromie, shall we? The friendly team does lose the race. Not the biggest deal in the world. Let's just go ahead and back and get full health and mana really quick. Yeah, I'm sticking with that. No reason to fight that whatsoever. I'll move up to the top lane and try to pressure that wall down while the rest of the friendly team defends the bottom lane. Hopefully they get there soon because Zagara is just getting free damage on this. And we also need to make sure that we are stopping the Sylvanas from using that trait too effectively. But hey, we can just jump in and attack this Jaina. I just found out Jaina's slow is a little more effective than the damage boost we get from Smite. My biggest issue with Tyrael, historically and even now, is that his abilities don't really have much offensive, like, prowess, right? They don't do too much. They're not that good, unless you talent for them. And even when you do talent for them, you go out of mana so fast on Tyrael. What have I done since I've gotten back to lane? I've just cast Smite a couple times, I've teleported in a little bit, you know, trying to harass a little bit. And, half of our mana bar is missing because of it. Like, it seems ridiculous to me. The enemy team's first objective is going to take down our keep, so we are behind on XP, but we've been doing a pretty decent job soaking so far. I think we are going to go for Shield Explodes upon breaking. Again, just to try to increase our damage a little bit. Our Smite has a 45 mana cost, our Righteousness has a 60 mana cost, and Eldruin's Might has a 50 on a character that only has 500 mana. So we're thirsty, man. We're real thirsty. We can get some talents later on to help keep our health high versus this team, which might be helpful. Specifically at level, what is it, 13? We can get more health while we're shielded. And the idea is we just go in and try to shield nonstop, so we're dealing AoE damage nonstop. But we'll kind of see how that goes. I can step out a little bit here. Wait for that shield to pop just to clear the lane a little bit. Like I said, we don't have the best lane clear in the world. I'm fine. Tap. I'm just trying to keep our team focused on actually doing something. Like maybe protecting our two lone teammates down the bottom lane or getting a camp. Like I could stay up in the top lane. That's not a problem. Good kill though. Good job. What? They just pinged that this was dangerous? Why? Oh, level 10, quickly closing in for both teams. We are slightly ahead. Yeah, shield that guy. What, you didn't know I was gonna juke up for no reason? What's wrong? I do think I am going to go for Judgment this game just so we can get a little bit more lockdown. And if someone is diving our team, try to make sure that they're okay. Just going to do a little bit of poke damage versus Sylvanas and then back up. Not trying to chase too far. We don't have the health or the mana to do that. So normally in the A through Z, I talk about more changes that the character received, but I mean, we kind of already went over that. Not much has changed with Tyrael. He's the same angel he's always been, more or less. He's always been mana starved. He's always been pretty low damage, high sustain. He used to be pretty good with battle momentum. You can do some fun stuff with that. Oh, I really thought I was going to be interrupted there, and I was going to be so salty about it. We are going to be picking up Judgment to engage on this enemy team. I am a little late to this objective, but you kind of have to clear up those shaman camps, otherwise they can do a lot of damage. I'm more worried about those than most other things in the game. Genji doing a great job versus the enemy team's Gray main, but Muradin jumping in on our backline here. Let's just give her some shields. That should be all she needs. No reason to overcommit with anything. And we can go join our Dingo for attacking the Immortal. Wow, that was a silence. Okay, let's rotate up and try to help out with this. Never mind, she doesn't even need me. To say, I see that Zagara up at the top lane. I think our Chromie could use a hand, but she had it no problem. So the silence from Sylvanas is down. Top lane is still being sieged by some Merc camps, but it looks like it's okay. I have noticed more and more that people just refuse to go back to get health. Like, Li Ming leaving now to get health rather than leaving before means we're not going to have her in this fight. We might have a problem with Sylvanas just pushing the bottom lane, but we'll see it momentarily. Sonya's stunned, so I'm going to jump in on this and try to deal as much damage as I can. Take her down with Judgment and just back up now. We played really aggressive, now we can play really defensive. We don't have any cooldowns, so we don't have any way to keep ourselves alive. But we could jump in here and kill off that Sylvanas now. The trait of Thrall, or excuse me, not of Thrall, of Tyrael, is another thing that has never changed, even though the community has been calling on it for a long time. If we ever do die, we are going to be... nice! Combo from Chromie there. We are going to turn into basically a ticking time bomb, where if we go near an enemy hero at the end of the trait's duration, we blow up and deal a ton of damage. Which kind of seems weird for a tank that, you know, you kind of want to stay alive all the time on. Looks like the friendly team is slowly being picked off one by one. We can give him a shield, although I don't know how much good it'll actually do. Once again, Silence Arrow being used. Hey, I'll just... Another thing you do with the sword is everyone just assumes that you're going to travel to where the sword is. You definitely don't have to.
Your spirit is strong, mortal.
So, like, we juked Murden there just because we threw the sword out, and he was going to where he thought I was going to teleport to. It ended up working out. We ended up separating him from Sylvanas and being able to pick up a kill there. So, we could go for the health return on our Angelic Absorption. Will kind of help us sustain a little bit more.
Understood.
But we could also just increase our basic attack damage with Angelic Might. Now, this is kind of interesting. This is... I mean, a lot of characters have attack damage increases, but... not that work like this. So based on the number of heroes that we hit with Smite is the number of empowered auto attacks that we receive. So if we hit 2 players here, we get 2 auto attacks that are increased. If we hit 1, we only get 1 auto attack that's increased. Let's give ourselves that movement speed increase here and walk away. See, to me, like, Tyrael back in the day didn't have a lot of damage, but what he had was a ton of displacement. There was actually a time where Tyrael can move his E, or use his E ability to shove people way out of position, like way off to the side. It would go along with the path of Snipe, or with the Smite. God, I can't get any words right. It's like we've been streaming for a while. So you would use Smite to just kind of smear people along the ground, which was really good. It was really cool. I liked it a lot. We shouldn't need to ult him, but where's the Zagara? Oh, she bailed. Uh-oh, boys. Uh-oh, guys. I went in too deep. I went in too deep. How did Dingo die for that? How does that work?
The allies of hell destroy our forts.
I go in and dive a tower, and Dingo ends up being the one that's taken down. And that was removed ages ago, right? But I don't really feel like he's ever gotten anything to compensate for that. Oh, you okay? Our Chromie is really good. Let's go ahead and judge in on this, which was canceled! Ah, I've never had that happen before. He must have walked out of the range at the exact moment I was channeling it. I've never had that happen. All right, I do want to deal damage to the objective, but top lane is actually in a lot of trouble right now. Dingo is moving up here to help me clear that. Looks like the majority of our team is moving up here to help me clear that. And we'll gather that region globe, get our sippy cup so we can go back in with full mana and health for the next objective. That being said, the enemy team is winning this race by a lot. Li Ming walking out in front is going to be taken down immediately. Silence Arrow once again being used to secure that kill. But we'll use this to secure this kill. All right, feels good, man. We should be able to just trade with Grandmain right now. Here, we'll back up, reposition, smite him. I think we got it. I think we got it. Oh, so close. This is our trait. This is what happens when you die on Tyrael. You can kind of move around a little bit. There is a talent at level 1 that allows you to reposition with this, like use your abilities to move around. Great Chromie combo yet again. The enemy team is going to grab the objective. But we got a Taz Dingo. We should be able to defend no problem. At level 16, this is where you start to see more of the influences of the really old Tyrael. He has had his talents changed every now and then, but holding ground has always been a staple. Create a ring that blocks enemies from entering an area teleported to using Eldruin's might. This just means that we can close off areas of the map so enemy team members cannot pass it. So, you guys want to defend this? Everyone's just kind of pushing the bottom lane. Dingo's dead, so there goes our highest damage. Well, this is going to get a lot more value than it should have. Potentially. The enemy team is moving in on this, so we do need to be careful. But I can block them from diving in with our Q ability now. Top lanes take a lot of damage. Let's rotate up there really quick. Just make sure nothing too bad happens up here. This tower is completely out of ammunition. That's what the blocking field looks like. You can use it in small little choke points like this to actually have a pretty big impact. And of course, it works better on bigger hitbox characters like Asmodee and things. The team went down to the bottom lane and started fighting, even though we were outnumbered, and it looks like we do lose our Genji as a result. Might lose this keep now as well. Let's see if we can defend it. We have a Chromie. Chromies are pretty scary to push into. Nice! Orb! Oh, that guilty too. Nice orb from R. Can you teleport? No, you can't! You can't teleport! I'm sorry, baby girl, I got you! From our leaving is going to secure a kill on that Jaina, and then once again judging Sylvanas. I'm not angry at Sylvanas. She just happens to always be right in the middle of my screen, right when I want to use my teleport. My bad, baby girl. What's going on here? Oh, he pulled those really far away. We need to clean up top lane before the next objective comes up, so we can actually focus on that and not have our attention divided. Quick bye-bye is going to get Chromie out of there. I'm going to ping for some assistance killing this. If we could save some mana for the objective, that would be great. And it looks like Li Ming is going to help us take this down. So we're actually in a pretty good spot. There's not a lot of pressure happening. Oh, they just took the shaman. Okay, we do have to clear top first. Ping for some assistance up here. Hopefully the team follows. We can just get rid of this really quick. Then we don't have any map pressure to worry about, which will be a really good thing. Okay, Judgment is back off cooldown right now. So if we find anyone out of position, we can jump in on them pretty hard. Let's try to scare off that Jaina a little bit. Well, I was hoping to actually get away from this. I was hoping to get away from the enemy team with that Judgment, but Greymane actually just dived right into me there. We were the sacrificial land from our team. So far, we've traded 1-1. And Dingo, really, really low on health, is going to be able to just annihilate this Immortal if he's left uncontested. But it looks like he's starting to be contested. Sylvan is skirting around the bottom of the screen. Muradin looking to move in on him now. I can feel the anxiety in his body right now. I can feel it. Now, he does have Guillotine off cooldown in 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Are we going to see him use it? He's so low on health, it would actually deal a lot of damage. Nope, but it looks like the enemy team is backing up. We're back up in 10 seconds. We can quickly clean up the bottom lane, which is pushing into our keep, and then go join our team. They're all so low on health. So low. This is another example of a great time for everyone to just go back. We have a numbers advantage. The enemy team is not going to be attacking. They could go back, get full health, and then re-engage as we're respawning. But no one seems to ever go back to heal. It's like a cardinal sin to heal. All right, that should be good enough. Let's see if we can jump in here and help out. Our Dingo is dead. Our Genji is dead. Good try, Chromie. I'm gonna back up here. I was actually mini stunned out of my queue. I'm just gonna take it easy for a moment. I'm gonna judge this Muradin. We might actually be able to get that kill. Once again, our trait being used. No! He looked in it! I thought I had him 100%. Feels bad, man. Feels real bad. Sylvanas is jumping around the screen trying to chase down our Li Ming. Li Ming by herself, however, is not going to make it out. Let's stop going into fights one at a time. We'll say that. At level 20, we do have a few options here. We could go for Nexus Blades to increase our damage a little bit more if we wanted to. We could go for Nullification Shield, which is only spell armor. I suppose we should mention that when the Warriors got armor added to them this year, Tyrael and Stitches were the ones that received spell armor. That's a miss, guillotine. Or we could go for reduced cooldown on our Judgment. It's been securing a lot of kills. I think that might be the way to go. Also, you know, shit like this keeps happening, where lockdown could be really, really good for our team. But Nexus Blades would increase our damage, so I'm a little conflicted. I mean, Nexus Blades would help our clear speed on the objective. So we'll go for Nexus Blades, why not? I can't walk past this, though, because it'll get a lot of value. Okay. Grab these. That fight's still going on, however. So 2 members of the friendly team dead for the next 60 seconds.
Eternity awaits us.
I'm on my way. Genji so fucking low all the time, just all the time. Li Ming is starting to come into this fight. We'll try to missed that kill a little bit. I was gonna try to deny Jaina from leaving. Go get health. Jeez, man, you're not immortal. Where's this creep tumor at? We got it. So the enemy team is going to back up and play defensively, even though we're not actually attacking yet. We do have a little bit of lane pressure down here in the bottom lane, but it looks like Li Ming has dealt with that no problem. Tez Dingo's still dead for another 15 seconds, so we just need to try to hold the line for as long as possible. Both teams are level 20 and are capable of using all of their talents right now. So we just need to be careful. Again, no reason to fight until Dingo's up or until Genji's back at full health, which he can do both relatively easily right now. Hello. That was probably worth judging. Sylvanas overextending down in the bottom lane, using her wailing arrow once again. She's going to be taken down. Dingo up top secured a kill on something. We see Zagara over here. I'm going to judge in on that. Hit her with Smite, cut off her escape. And that should be a pretty easy kill. Someone on the team will clean that up, I'm sure. But the enemy team does manage to... No, we got the objective. Excuse me. I misread that for a moment. Genji is cleaning up the top lane, so we can do a lot of pushing down here. We might actually be able to push in for a keep here. Hopefully. Alternatively, we could have pushed top and tried to go for core, but I'm going to be perfectly happy with just this right now. Move in, take a little bit of damage, grab the Regen Globe. We should be able to recover all this health, no problem. And everyone on the enemy team is dead, so just get that push going a little bit faster. I'll soak up damage to remove ammunition. Oh, wait. That won't be a thing much longer. Sylvanas and Greymane are respawning right now. Genji has joined the team. We might be able to win with this. We're going to have Judgment online in 8 seconds. Here, let's just cut this side off from the enemy team being able to move in with. Kind of zone them back with that. Judge is off cooldown. Potentially could have gone for Greymane there, but I would have left my team pretty far behind. So, I'm just going to try to peel this Murden off. Now jump over to the right side. Stun on this Jaina Proudmoore. We should be able to finish her off, I think. Or at least zone her away. The Immortal is hitting the core pretty hard. I'm going to start hitting the core too. We're likely going to be taken down here, but we can actually use our trait for a ton of siege damage here as well. So all in all, game went okay. This is kind of the more offensive, my take on the more offensive Tyrael build. Usually he's played really, really tanky to protect characters like Vala or Sergeant Hammer, or, you know, what have you. But hey, we're not pros, so we don't play him like a pro. Contributed all that XP because we were in the solo lane. He doesn't really have a lot of lane clear, so I wouldn't recommend you putting him in a solo lane. And like I keep saying, he has a lot of mana issues too. So I definitely, in most cases, would have been down in the lane where all the action was happening in. But because of our particular team comp, we did go up there. At level 1, we need to go for Purge Evil into Swift Retribution. Oh my god. Reciprocate, Judgment, Angelic Might, Holy Ground, and Nexus Blades. Not a bad game. Not a great game. It was alright. Middle of the road game. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Up next, we have Tyrande Hey, that should be a fun one. Toronto was so busted earlier this year. I feel like she's okay now, though. I feel like she's kind of been put back into her spot. We'll see y'all tomorrow with that. Thank you all for watching. Okay, bye.